हाँ सर।
फोन करके उनको एग्जैक्टली 11 बजे थोड़ा 5 मिनट के लिए ऑनलाइन में आने को रिक्वेस्ट करो।
अच्छा सर। वर्कर सर को फोन करो ऑनलाइन आने के लिए 11 बजे 5 मिनट के।
लिंक भेजो, लिंक उनका व्हाट्सएप में
नंबर नहीं है ना सर। आप सर वर्कर सर 5 मिनट तक ऑनलाइन भेज देना, लिंक भेज देना। नहीं बंद इनका हो गया। इनको बोल दिया था ना, कोई बोलता है ना आया ना मैं यहाँ बोल रहा हूँ ना, तो यहाँ किससे शुरू है अरे रुको आप भी ये बोलो सरकार शुरू की माइक सामने सरकार शुरू की माइक
खड़े ज्वाइन कर दीजिए।
सर अपना फोन लगाओ।
इधर टाइम क्यों लगा, जल्दी ज्वाइन करो जाओ।
हेलो
हाँ शुरू हो गया, ज्वाइन कर दीजिए। ईयरफोन होंगे तो लगा के रखो, ईयरफोन होंगे तो लगा के रखो। आवाज कम करो ना।
हेडफोन कनेक्ट करो।
हेलो मिस्टर सर, हेलो हेलो राम टेके सर।
हाँ हेलो सर, गुड मॉर्निंग।
गुड मॉर्निंग मैडम, मैंने रेवतकर से बात किया अभी।
हाँ सर।
वो 11:15 बजे तक आ जाएंगे लाइन में। हाँ
ओके ओके ठीक है सर।
राइट।
तो आप बोल पाओ, अब बोलो। मैं तो सर तो बोल रही
Ramtekar sir, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
मीटिंग भी है ना, अगर किसी को उसको देखना उसको देखते हैं ज्वाइन नहीं हो पाए तो 100 को ज्वाइन नहीं हो पाएगा। अभी तो तीसरी आ रही है।
Nayak sir, very good morning, sir. Sir, आपका म्यूट है.
Now I am audible.
Sir, very very good morning, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes,
Very
sir, audio
happy
audio.
you are accepted our invitation.
Yes.
Sir, I did my PhD work at Ratnagiri only.
Ah,
Yeah.
very nice.
1989.
Where, sir? In
89.
which
I did
is
my practical work there.
in institute? Which institute?
No, institution. We have the lab, the PL 480 under Nagpur,
Oh.
sir.
Okay. Very good.
Near Jetty.
Yeah, I know. Actually, in our college, today also one state level webinar is there. My lecture is there. I shifted lecture at 12:30.
Okay.
Pantapradhan Matsya Sampada Yojana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So everywhere now the Prime Minister, this Yojana is Matsya Sampati is very flourishing nowadays in Maharashtra. So everywhere there is a day-to-day lectures are there.
Right.
Yeah.
I was 2 years in Ratnagiri. 89, 89, 80, 86, 87, 88, 89. Okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
So you know about the particularly fishery systems. What is there in?
Yeah. I'm zoology. And my subject is zoology. Yeah. I did in crabs, Sella Sareta.
Huh? Last 15 years I'm working on this. I had developed some farms also in our Konkan belt regarding this. I did my. There are so many papers are also there. Even one. Recently I got one project from Rajiv Gandhi Science and Technology,
Right.
and under that I developed the technology of seed production of Silla Sarata.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because the hatchery is required. No, in our country
I've
only
seen,
one.
Yeah, I have seen the effect of benzene.
Yeah.
And physical and chemical characters of Sella Sareta.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your?
I've seen the this total annual cycle also.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually,
very long back. I did 89. I awarded in 1989.
Yeah. That time I think just now I joined my duty. Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Very good. So I will contact you, sir, regarding the any.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Gaidana sir is our department.
Yeah. Because of Gaidani sir only I joined, sir, today. Right. Otherwise, I told, because there are no because Amravati is also conducting some programs. Webinars are there nowadays. I told them I am not possible to available, but for Gaidane sir's college means we have to go because of Gaidane sir. Yeah. So
I asked Gaidana sir to search some speakers immediately he told your name.
No, because sir, I am the another thing. I am a state coordinator for inland fisheries, state
Right.
government of Maharashtra.
Right.
So I have to give the lectures. I have to transfer the technology. Now our government is also telling that it's okay. Now years research is over. Now you have to implement. You go on the farm and give the demonstration. So whatever the topic I have delivered today also, it is on the basis of what I did in the farm levels.
Right.
Technology develops, and that technology, all technologies nowadays, all implemented this in Pancha Pradhan Matsya Sampada Yojana. So anybody want to do this technology, we can get the subsidized finance from the government. So any fish department of fishery, if you approach our youth and tell that this technology I have to adopt, so definitely he will get the finance. So that is a good thing for this lecture. Therefore, I accepted this lecture.
Okay. Sir, if you give the permission, I will send my MSc students.
Yeah, definitely, sir. So, see, we are for student purpose. Because of student, we are there.
Right.
Definitely, we will.
Because in our department, we have the fishery is the one of the specialized subject. So, I want to send some students to
Yes.
your institution.
Yeah. Yes. We have our college. There are the PG, PhD disciplines are there. Also, research work are regularly going on.
I have seen your college.
So I will help you. No problem. You send your name.
We will plan. And
Definitely. So last year I contacted the Siwan University Kolhapur. They approached me. They conducted one training program in their institute for 185 students from the PG students.
Okay.
And we went there. We have visited. Regularly, we are conducted lectures there for my staff also. And we guiding to the students.
Kolhapur is very near to Ratnagiri.
Yeah, near to Ratnagiri. So I carry my staff members also, because they are expert in the different subjects regarding the fisheries.
Okay.
And they got benefit of the students. Most of the students, they started their business also in Kolhapur regions. This is a new subject.
How is the climate of Ratnagiri now?
Now it's fine. It's a fine. Yeah.
Is there any pandemic COVID cases?
Cases are there, but now people are aware about this. They take the cares. Yeah.
Where you are from? Your place, sir? Native place?
I'm near to railway station, Ratnagiri railway station.
You belongs to Ratnagiri only?
Yeah. I born and brought up in Ratnagiri.
Okay.
I am the first best student of the College of Fishery Ratnagiri, which was started in India, first time in Maharashtra. I am the first student of the Ratnagiri, we local. Yeah. So I did my MSc, I did my PhD there only.
Okay, nice.
Yes. Still, I think there is time.
Yeah, I think another 10 minutes is more, because our dean is coming by 10:45. After his arrival, we will start it. I think 52 participants are included.
So the participants are students or the?
Yeah. Students and our staff members are there.
Very good.
Members are there.
Very good. Actually, no, sir. As far as the marine fisheries is concerned, we are okay. Definitely, we are doing our work a lot because we have an approach to the sea and coastal lands. But regarding the inland areas, we are far away because there is a availability of particularly the resources and facilities are there a lot of in your regions, particularly away from the sea coast. And there is a lot of scope for this inland aquaculture. And if they got particularly the youth, they got a technical knowledge, definitely they will come up. And in future, I can say now it is coming up. The trend has come that as far as the compare with the capture fishery, the culture fishery is coming up nowadays, and they show the more production. Yeah. We have to take more interest now. Means we are aware, give the guidance to the youth people so they can start their, instead of going to the job, they can do their own employment. This entrepreneurship.
Right.
You know, nowadays in our Konkan areas, most of our students also, those who are passing the degree, they are not, they are refusing the job. They are started their own businesses.
Right, right.
Yeah. So it's a good thing, and government is also taking now interest as.
They're giving, they're giving the subsidy, no?
Yeah. Pantabradhan, see, Prime Minister, central government of India has taken the interest that they have formed a separate department also in central level.
Yeah.
So there will be definitely in due course of time, your fisheries, aquaculture particularly, they will flourish. And only thing is that the students.
Central government, there is a separate department for giving the funding for fish aquaculture.
Yeah. So definitely our.
NDB is there in Hyderabad. There is a big branch of central government regarding the fish culture.
Yeah, that is NFDP, National Fishery Development.
Yes.
Under that, we are conducted today's our webinar in our college. Yeah, NFDP is given finance. Central government. There are so many.
The branch, my brother's son is working there.
Huh?
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
Another Renju and is our daughter-in-law. She is working as a scientist there.
What is good name, sir?
Renju, Sri Renju.
Sri Renju.
She's from
very
Kerala.
good.
Yeah, Sri Renju. Okay. And my nephew name is Sai Siddhartha. Computer operator there.
Oh, very good, very good.
Programmer, yeah.
So he knows better things about the fishery skills.
Yeah. Okay. Sir, 1 minute. I will take some work. We will meet again. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ramtekar sir, can you start?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Shortly we will start.
Uh,
Hello, sir. Hello.
Can we start?
Yeah.
Sir, आए क्या रेवतकर सर? कॉल करो उनको एक बार.
रेवतकर sir.
म्यूट कर दो लोगों को. इसके ऊपर जाओ, सिर्फ जाओ, सिर्फ जाओ.
हाँ सर. हाँ. कितने बजे? अब मुझे बताया था 10:45 को मैं आ जाऊंगा, ऐसा बोल रहा था वो. 10:40. चालू एक काम करो ना, 10:45 को चालू करो, वो जब तक आ जाएंगे अपना प्रोग्राम होने तक. हाँ, राइट. चालू करो क्या हम लोग हैं? हाँ ठीक है ठीक है, अभी चालू कर रहे हैं हम, आप बस बीच में अटेंड करो बस। हाँ ओके। रेवतकर सर, हाँ रेवतकर सर थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, अपन चालू करेंगे बीच में आ जाएंगे बोल रहे हो। हम के सर,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
अभी काम करो, शुरू करो, कि बोलते सर मीटिंग में है, बीच में आ जाएंगे सर
Okay.
का जैसा लिंक आ जाएंगे, ज्वाइन हो
Okay.
जाएंगे, तब आप सर 2 मिनट के लिए सर को बोलने के लिए लगा देंगे फिर अपन।
अच्छा 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 अच्छा, हाँ
ओके, नाउ वी कैन स्टार्ट।
ओके सर। Good morning to one and all. At the outset, I welcome you all to the national level e-seminar organized by the Department of Zoology. At first, I would like to appreciate you all for your enthusiastic participation in this seminar. Now let us welcome dignitaries, distinguished guests, resource persons present in the seminar. In the beginning, I welcome Honorable Dr. Ashok Bhau Jutade, Secretary, Chanda Shikshan Prasarak Mandal, Chandrapur, by offering a virtual bouquet. I request Dr. M. Subhash sir, Principal of our college, to welcome Ashok Bhau Jutade by offering a bouquet. Thank you, sir. I request Dr. P.J. Khinchi sir, Head Department of Zoology, to welcome Dr. M. Subhash sir, respected Dr. M. Subhash sir, Principal, Janta Mahavidyalaya, Chandrapur. Now I request Dr. M. Subhash sir, Principal of our college, to welcome Dr. S.B. Revatkar sir, Dean, Faculty of Science and Technology, Gondwana University, Gadchiroli, by offering a bouquet. Now I request Dr. D.M. Gaidhane sir to welcome our NAC coordinator, Dr. N.R. Beg madam, by offering a bouquet. I welcome Dr. P.J. Khinchi sir, Head Department of Janta Mahavidyalaya, Chandrapur, and a member of organizing committee, by offering a bouquet. Dear friends, now it's a time to welcome prominent resource person of today's seminar. I request Dr. M. Subhash sir to welcome Dr. Suresh Naik sir, the academic expert and resource person of today's seminar, by offering a bouquet. Next, I request Dr. M. Subhash sir, Principal of our college, to welcome Dr. Arun Savarkar sir, the other academic expert and resource person of today's seminar, by offering a bouquet. Last but not the least, I welcome all my respected colleagues, my dear participants, and my dear friends. Now it's a time to move further. I request Dr. P.J. Khinchi sir, Head Department of Zoology, to deliver his introductory speech. Thank you very much, sir. Kinchi sir, please.
Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Musa. The chairperson, distinguished guests, research person, delegates, colleagues, and my dear student friends. A very warm welcome to you all in National E-Seminar on Science and Technology, organized by the Department of Zoology, Janata Mahavidyalaya, Chittorgarh. Let me flash a light on the historical and the activities of the department. The Department of Zoology was established in year 1961 with UG program under the affiliation of RTM Nagpur University, Nagpur. And PG program was introduced during 2004 under same university. The students of our department got laureate to the college. Most of the students secured good marks and few students placed in merit list. The university thereby, we never faced the problem with the student strength. Few PG students also cracked the NET examination. Let you know about the various student-centered activities are carried out in the department, such as student seminar, guest lecture, group discussion, field visit, short-term course in aquarium construction maintenance, and a PG course for BSc Clerk and PG students of different subjects under the title of Planning and Execution of Presentation and Research Project. This department also organized the work of workshop every year for the paramedical students of Bhavanji Rai Chauhan College, Chandrapur. The PG course program creates the interest and research environment amongst students. This kind of activities lead the student to overall personality development. As a result, most of our students become capable to secure jobs in government, public, private, and corporate sectors. Here I am pleased to mention that it is four-member department wherein our binary principal is one of them. Dr. M. Subhas encouraged the other staff members for research publication and publication of books time to time for the academic development. All the teaching members of this department are PhD holders. Thereby, we apply for higher learning and research center, CHLR, in Zoology. And CHLR we received in 2030 under the affiliation of Bologna University, Portugal. The recent activities are carried out in the area of limnology and toxicology. Since 2013, 3 students were awarded PhD degree, of which 2 belongs to limnology and 1 from the toxicology. At last, being a head of the department, I am very much thankful to our resource person, Professor Dr. S. Nayak and Dr. Arun B. Savarkar for accepting our invitation and sparing their valuable time for this seminar. I am also thankful to our management, Dr. Ashok, Secretary Charges Secretary of Mandap, Chandrapur, and Dr. M. Subhas, Principal of this college, for their valuable guidance and support to organize such a nice, wonderful seminar. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kinchi sir. Now let's invite Principal Dr. M. Subhas sir to deliver the presidential speech. So I request Dr. M. Subhas sir to address and enlighten us.
Okay. Can I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Very good morning, one and all. And today our guest, our secretary, Dr. Ashok Jutode sir, and Dr. Revatkar, Dean, Science and Technology, Gondwana University, and today's speaker, Dr. Naik sir, and Dr. Savarkar sir, and my colleagues, Dr. Kinchi, head of the department, Zoology, Janata Mahavidyalaya, Dr. Gaidana sir, Dr. Mixar, and Dr. N.R. Beg is a NAC coordinator, and all the faculty members of zoology department, all the chairmen and all the head of the department, Chandrapur local colleges, and my dear participant. As you know that last 1 week, we are conducting the e-seminar series from 7th to 12th. Actually, we are started from 8th. Today, today the third day. The Department of Zoology is organizing the seminar. In this seminar, two prominent speakers are there. And Dr. Suresh Naik is my friend, is working as a head of the department and College of Fishery, Ratnagiri, and is going to talk on recent advanced technology and aquaculture. Another friend, Dr. Savarkar sir from Chalisgaon, and is the professor and head department of zoology, and is going to talk on aquaculture, conventional and approaches. And both topics are very important and informative. We can get more and more benefit, I think. And as you know that our college is the oldest college in Chandrapur and Gadchiroli district, and it is established in 1958. And we have PG also. In our college, we have arts, commerce, science, and also we have PG from botany, zoology, physics, chemistry, microbiology, computer science, and we have higher learning center in zoology, botany, physics, chemistry, and computer science. Arts, in arts, we have the economics and commerce. Recently, we accredited, re-accredited B++ with 2.95 CGPA. And we have the good quality. We are providing the good quality education. As you know, the Chandrapur is the backward area. So we always, our faculty, our management try to give the good quality education. And we have the qualified teachers also. And once again, I welcome both speakers on behalf of our management and college and staff. And once again, I welcome all the participants. I think you get the benefit from this seminar. Thank you so much. Over to Dr. Misar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your motivational and inspiring speech. Dear friends, now it's a time to begin the technical session. So let me invite Dr. Suresh D. Naik, sir, to make his presentation and enlighten us on topic recent advanced technology in aquaculture. Before his presentation, I request Dr. P.J. Khinchi, sir, head, to introduce the resource person to the audience.
Thank you, Dr. Misar, sir. Being a whole, it is my proud duty to introduce the speaker of the technical section of this seminar. The speaker of first session is Dr. S.D. Naik. Welcome, sir. Sir has vast biodata and it is very difficult to summarize in brief. Even then, Dr. S.D. Naik is professor and head of the Department of Aquaculture, College of Fisheries, Dr. Bala Saheb, Vishnu Vidyapeeth, Damboli, District Ratnagiri, Maharashtra. He has 34 years of experience in teaching, research, and extension. Sir has 79 scientific and technical publications and 15 books in his writing. He has participated and presented 24 papers in conferences, 24 conferences,
पवार सर कुणाच्या अंगावर पडतो स्वतःच्या अंगावर नाही फुटू त्यामध्ये मला काल लेट त्याच्या पहिले झालं बरं नाही ना पडलं किती वेळ फोनवर बोलत राहिले
under his able guidance, total number of 26 students are working on the development funded projects, and of which 7 students were awarded PhD degree. Sir has expertise in the area such as fishery biology, fish technology, fishery research management, and fish processing technology. He devotes his service other than teaching and research as resource person, more than hundreds of training programs, fisheries knowledge, innovation program, audio talks, exhibition, training manuals, and also have the 4 audio video series in his study. So I would like to invite Dr. S.D. Naik to give a talk on recent advanced technology in aquaculture. So Naik sir, please.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Naik, sir, please start your presentation. Over to you, sir.
Voice is audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Good morning to all the dignitaries who are present today's webinar. I especially congratulate. Hello, I especially congratulate all the conveners and coordinators of conducting such a valuable webinar. The first, I think, in your college. So I really congratulate, and I am very happy to invite me for this session. Actually, as far as today's concern, what today's youth required, what they need regarding the employment is the important things. And related that, I have last 30 years, I'm working on this particularly fishery sector for giving the self-employment opportunity in the fisheries and aquaculture sectors. I have got a topic, it's very important because all of you know that particularly Prime Minister Matsya Sampada Yojana as declared by our Prime Minister, and it is especially for the fisheries sector. As I have worked on 36 years their own self-employment businesses by collecting, but they want a technical knowledge. As through this webinar, such a webinar, if you give the technical knowledge to the youth, they definitely come up. I have a confidence. I have experience of my students of my College of Fisheries. Now our students are not going for any job. Instead of they start their employment businesses. So that is the things. And this topic, that particular recent advances technologies in aquaculture, is very, very important topic for students from the Vidarbha, Marathwada and other people, because they have a lot of scope regarding the resources are available, the facilities are available, opportunities are there. Only thing is that one step they should come to forward. If they taken these opportunities and they start their business, there is a lot of scope, not only for them, but also for our Maharashtra fisheries and also the government of India. I especially emphasize here, before my topic starts here, that today's lecture is about, I think it may be the 30-45 minutes. It's not more than that because there is a limitation. But this is the introduction to this topic. There are what are the selected technologies I am presenting here in front of you? And if you have taken one technology and if you go forward and you go to contact to the Department of Fisheries and taken the technical knowledge from us, they can start their own business because government is giving helps for financial assistance as well as subsidize some amount to you. Only thing is that you have to take the benefit of today's topic. So I start my presentation here today. So Is it visible? Sir, is it visible? Sir, is it visible?
Yes,
Yes,
visible,
sir.
visible, sir.
Yeah. Say, my topic is particularly recent advances technologies in aquaculture. Have you seen? There are 3 photographs I've shown here. All 3 farms in the all 3 I developed in our this technology I have developed. Even though it is Konkan area, there is a lack of fresh water, but I developed this technology. First is important technology is the you know that Marathi it is called Shetatalayatil Matsya Sambardhan. One of the farmers has developed this farm. This is a demonstration farm for me, for the others, youths and other people, business people. Second, it is the cage farming. That is also one of the important cage we have developed. We are cage farming demonstration unit is developed near Konkan area. There is one reservoir is there. We have taken our farmers has taken the rent basis from the government and has started their own business. Third is the latest new technology. All of you may be knowing about that. That is a biofloc technology. If you go on the YouTube and if you read that biofloc is nowadays very famous in nowadays in our country, because in this technology they require very less water, because we are using same water throughout the culture period. There is no necessity for changing the water. So only thing is that you have to provide the aeration. So this technology is nowadays very popular in Konkan belt as well as in the Maharashtra, as well as in the particularly in the Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, and in Gujarat. So these technologies, just I put up in our front page, but I will show the specific some technologies that you can see here. Now, if you think on the particularly of this particular business, that is the fisheries, about the 50% and more of the employment is generated from agriculture and fisheries aquaculture. You see, the employment is there, 50% is among that, and 80% among that, there are particularly involved, particularly small fish farmers, and the small, they have the very land is very small, very short land, even though they are doing their businesses. So now we have to think on that. The population, those who are working in this sector, we have to give the new technology so that with the limited facilities, they can develop the more and more activities, particularly in the agriculture and aquaculture. And you know that now the corona, particularly this pandemic situation, you can observe only these sectors, that particularly agriculture and aquaculture, survive the people. These businesses are still continually going on in the societies. Why? And then I'm emphasis on the aquaculture. Why we think on the aquaculture? See, in particularly as far as the international or the scenery, if you see, in the protein-based feed, protein feed which is required for any human being. If the protein is there, definitely it will become healthy. Otherwise, it's a malnutrition. And protein source you are getting from the fish only, those are getting from the aquaculture or the fisheries. The protein, whatever they're getting from the feed, that is easily digestible protein rather than the agriculture product. So everybody are now going for to eat the fish, particularly as far as compared with the foreign peoples. They are eating, particularly annual, their eating is 18 to 20 kg per capita. They are eating, but as compared to Indian people, we are not more than, even that is less than 3 to 4 kg per year. Like that we are eating. So we have to think on that. There is a lot of scope. If you develop more and more fish from the aquaculture, there will be definitely will give more and more exportable values, exports, and because the world is required fish. Now the picture has come like that. From the capture fisheries from the sea, the fish are reducing catch. We are not getting enough quantity of the pomfret, mackerel, sardine, and all these fishes. They are in the reducing, they are in the decline trade. One day it will definitely come Where there will be no, there is extinction. The species are there. The people not getting any fish protein from their regular in the diets. So aquaculture is the most important. Means we have to culture the fish in the controlled conditions, in constructing the ponds, constructing the tanks, and we have to develop that. Particularly in the, if you see in the foreign countries, particularly in the China, New Zealand, and these, every houseman, they are constructed one tank for the fish culture in their backyards because they want to eat the fish. They are not selling the fish in the market, but they eat their own, and they are started like this condition. That is the byproduct and all that. If you see scenario in our country, particularly in the Maharashtra, we have a lot of scopes for developing this aquaculture. We have a lot of dams are there, ponds are there. If you see, we have a particularly in the Maharashtra is concerned, 20,000 kilometers of the rivers lengths are there. From that, we are getting annually 3,000 ton only. If you see the reservoirs, 1,600 are there, and 3 lakh we are getting the particularly hectare areas. There is a lot of scopes are there from using that facilities. Only thing that you have to introduce, you have to do the technology in that. So easily digestible protein can be available to our human beings, and there will be definitely a lot of scope for that. All of you know that nowadays some fish, some technologies, fish processing technologies has shown, they are showing that some of the fish having the meat containing the omega-3 fatty acids, which is help for the heart disease. They are destroy the clottings in the blood vessels. So these technologies, this particularly used, if used, we can produce more and more, particularly fish production. Availability of the modern technologies are developed. Particularly, we have this fisheries institutes are there. They are doing a research on this fish. They are developing more and more technologies. Among that, some technologies are definitely helpful for our youth. They can start their own activity. Availability of seeds is also there because the hatcheries are there. The seeds are getting. I'll give the example just. As the farmers doesn't know, as the new entrepreneur doesn't know the technology or the knowledge about the fisheries, they just dump the fish seed into their pond, and there will be found a heavy mortality. Only thing that you have to take the knowledge. How far we have to collect it, how far it is stocked in ponds, how far, when it is to be stocked, what type of the feed you have to give, what type of the water parameter should be the pond. That all things, once you understand, there will be the survivability. We can say, yes, more than 90% survival we can get in from the pond culture or the tank culture. Only thing is that you have to update your knowledge. You have to update the fisheries, whatever that. So today's some technologies I'm going to giving. These are the fishes having a lot of scope in the future. Particularly, you know that IMC, Cutler Room Regals. These are commonly used, but I can say, as a aquaculture expert, you go for the tilapia. Tilapia have a lot of scope because it is the second number of the country, or not in the world, they are demandable species. Only thing is that you have to look into it. Nowadays, monosex tilapia is coming up, and you have to culture this fish. You will get definitely good production because they are fast grower, they are sturdy species. Cutler Room Regals are available, definitely, but as compared to that, the tilapia has got good market because these exportable varieties. Angasis is coming up nowadays. Grass carp is also there. Besides this, the new industry is coming up nowadays very fast. That is the ornamental fish industries. We are still behind. We are like behind this ornamental aquaculture. Now we have to think on that. particularly koi carps, goldfish, angel. There are so many fishes, arowana. There are so many fishes have a good market. Even if you go into the Bombay markets or the one fish, they are charging about 10,000 to 50,000 rupees for arowana or different types of the angel koi carps and all that. There is a lot of scope. So we think on that. Now I'm giving the first important, particularly
Like, sir. Sorry for interruption, sir. Dean of Science and Technology, Dr. Revatkar sir, just has joined meeting. We will felicitate him and we will continue.
Okay, sir.
Sir, slide.
Okay. 1 minute.
Now I request, sir, slide sharing thoda. Sir, please stop the sharing. Sir. Nice, sir. Nice, sir.
He's trying.
Please stop the sharing of slide.
Right. Carry on. Carry on, carry on.
Now I request respected Dr. M. Subhash sir to welcome the Dean of Science, Faculty of Science and Technology, Gondwana University, Gadchiroli, by offering a virtual bouquet. Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. S.B. Revatkar sir, Dean, Faculty of Science and Technology, to say a few words. Before that, I introduce Dr. S.B. Revatkar sir. Dr. S.B. Revatkar sir is the Dean, Faculty of Science and Technology, Gondwana University, Gadchiroli. He has 33 years of the teaching and administrative experience, 6 students award PhD under his guidance, 1 student submit PhD thesis for the award of the degree, 3 students complete MPhil project. Sir got 1 patent for the process for the preparing medium to cure the kidney stone granted by the Australian government. Sir has published the 58 papers in international journal, also presented papers in several national and international journals. He worked on various authorities and bodies of the university. He received the various awards: Seva Ratna Gaurav Puraskar, Nanded 2003, Teacher Fellowship under FDP 10th Plan, Western Regional Office 2004, Mahatma Phule State Level Teacher Award, Rashtriya Shikshan Parishad 2006, Ideal Teacher Award by RTM Nagpur University, Nagpur in 2008, Ideal Teacher Award, RTM Nagpur University, Nagpur 2008, prize winner in international conference organized by Mahajenko in 2007. Now I request Dr. S.B. Revatkar sir to say a few words regarding this conference.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to all dignitaries, teachers, students, and scholars. First, I congratulate Dr. Subhash sir, their team, and Honorable Ashok Bhau Juthode for organizing this national e-seminar on science and technology. This is the mega event for the faculty members, researchers of science and technology faculty, which started from 7th of February 2022. Today we have the e-seminar, which is organized by Department of Zoology, where the eminent speakers are Dr. Suresh Naik from the Ratnagiri and Dr. Arun Savarkar sir from Chalisgaon. I welcome both the speakers and wish this e-seminar will throw light on the new scopes in science and technology. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now I request Dr. Suresh Naik sir to continue his lecture.
Carry on, sir.
हेलो नाइक सर, द स्लाइड इज इन द टास्क बार सर। मिनिमाइज करके सर नीचे टास्क बार में रखी हुई है, देखिए आपकी इस पे पीसी पर। सर पीपीटी शुरू कर दीजिए, फिर आप शेयरिंग शुरू कर सकते हैं। Sir, you are facing any problem, sir? Naik, sir? Hello? Hello? Hello, Naik, sir, getting my voice?
One minute, one minute.
Screen sharing. अरे यार ये खींचे सर क्यों भाग जाता है बीच बीच में, सब चालू रख के।
Is it audible? It is visible?
Yeah, sir, visible. Completely visible, sir.
So this is the first audible, na?
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Audible, sir.
Everything
audible.
okay, sir. Everything okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So this is the first technology that is available. Monosex tilapia seed is available. We can do into the pond culture. This is the farm which are near to Ratnagiri. Because of in Konkani area, particularly the soil is percolated. It is difficult to store the water. This water is going slowly from that. So we have to plastic lining. We have to fit it there to the pond. This is the plastic lining, and we are fitting here. You can even the small area you have of hectare, 0.4 hectare, you can develop here. The point only thing is that the depth of the water is important. That is 3 to 5 meters. The pond should be the rectangular, and if you maintain the water qualities, means the pH or dissolved oxygen, and transparency means the turbidity, it should be like that, temperature. And if you give the protein to the particular the fish feed, that is 25 to 30% of the protein based feed daily to the 4 to 5 times initially. After that 1 month, you have to give the 3 to 4 times, that is 25 to 200 grams. And after 200 grams, once it becomes a fish, you have to give the 2 to 3 times. So within 6 months, you can get it 600 to 800 grams of fish from these ponds. And when you stock that time the size is maximum it is 5 to 10 grams. So with the 5 to 10 grams, you can get it after 6 months, and particularly the rate is very nice. Even in the Ratnagiri, they are getting this. If our farmers are selling 200 to 300 rupees kg, so they are getting a good market. Initially, our entrepreneurs or the farmers are not interested to culture this fish because there is a sea fish is available. But once particular consumers, when they tested this fish, because that is a live fish, no, so they get a very good taste as compared to the sea fish. So nowadays the freshwater fish are they demanding a lot, and therefore this business is coming up. Most of the farmers and the entrepreneurs, even the youths are coming up to adopt this technology. Only thing, this is the particularly things you have to keep in the mind. If you go in the pond, if you want to go particularly, if you want to go to the culture of the tilapia, you have to 5 numbers per meter square. Means, if suppose you have a 1 hectare pond, you have to give the 50,000 of the seed in that. The size of the seed is 10 grams of the tilapia. This gift tilapia is available. Why it is gift tilapia? Gift tilapia is a monosex. There are not a particularly crossing. This particular species like Oreochromis mozambicus, because that species is going fast and they show the very good growth in the water. So you have to take this. If you are using the natural seed, because now most of the suppliers, they are supplying the natural seed from the Calcutta and the Madras and other thing, particularly in the north regions. But that should not be used because they are the mixing with the male and female, and they are using their energy, most of the energy for the reproduction. They are not going in a maximum size. So you have to keep in mind. Even the cart, that is Indian made Katla Rombrigal, if you want, like that is the proportion you have to use. I have given just a slightly scenario. If you want to keep this fish in the 6 to 8 months, definitely you will get 80 to 90% of the survival. If you see the regularly our traditional farmer, they are not getting this type of the survival percentage because they are not adopting this particularly parameters, water parameters, and all these things. The stocking density, they are using whatever the seed they are getting, they just dump into the water body. They are not even the think when you have to stock in the pond. Actually, if you want to stock the fish, particular seed in the pond, you should be put up into the early in the morning or the late night. That is the particular time. That is perfect time for the stocking the fish. Production you will get 27 metric tons. And feed conversion, you see, if you add 1 kg of feed to the fish, you will get 1.2 particularly fish meat. So they have the, and therefore if you compare with that, there is more exports are demandable species like gift tilapia, and this culture technology is coming up very fast. Second technology is the cage farming in the reservoir farming. This is also the cage formation. Here, only thing is that these schemes are there. Government is giving the technology. There are a lot of reservoirs are there. There are a lot of rivers are there. In that, government has given that 0.1 or 0.5% of the areas you can use for this cage cow farming. Only thing is that you have to concentrate the cages. You have to construct it with the ML for pipes, wood tied with the nylon nets. The nylon nets are ideal. Only thing is that in this cages, in this pond, you have to add maximum size of the fish is 50 grams. It should not be less than that. Otherwise, they are going out from the cages. And the depth of the pond is definitely it is in the reservoir. It should be the minimum 10 meters. Culture period from the prior to fingerling means small size. It is 45 days. If you want to do the maximum size fish, means the marketable size, you have to keep in the 165 days. So most of the Kolhapur, our entrepreneurs, those who are taking the trainings and all that, they are coming up very fast. They are removing the tons of production from these reservoirs and all that. Here the stocking density is 150 numbers per meter square. The water parameter is always, if you see the water, ideal water quality, the sea, it should be the pH is 7.5 to 8.5. Oxygen of the pond is more than 4 ppm. Ammonia, nitrate, it should be nil. If it is there, definitely that water is very nice. Even the temperature. The feeding ratios, again, it is 25 to 30%. You have to give the protein-based feed because the requirement of the protein is within this 25. Because nowadays in the common, what happened? The farmers are using any type of the feed. It should not be done that because the different companies feed, they have the different protein content. If you are using the more content of the feed, protein content feed, definitely fish will eat only the some part of the protein from that feed. Other remaining protein part of the feed, it will be expelled out from their excreta, and that will create a problem to your pond quality, water quality. So therefore, you have to think on that specific water protein percentage feed you have to give to the particular fish so that you can get a good result, and there will be maintaining the good water quality. See, these are the cages. Particularly, you have to how it is 6 meters into 4 meters by 4 meters. You have to use it. If you want to do it in the cage pond, according to the pond size, you can make it your cages. The stocking density is mentioned here. Feed, it should be more than 25% of the total weight of their body weight of the fish. This suppose if you have a 1 kg of feed, you have to give the 20% more than that, 20% among that of the feed. Broadcasting by hand, here in the pond you can use the feeder also there. Feed conversion is the thing. Here the survival in the cage you find that is 90% because you are controlling the condition, controlling the situation because the fish is in front of you so that you can get a more and more survival. Marketable size, it is 1.2 kg. You can get one piece. Maximum size. Culture period is 5.6 months. And you can get it the 1 cage means for the 6 by 4 by 4 like that. If you have the 1.5 kgs of the production, you can get it from that. The third, which is the most important, particularly technology, is coming up very fast in our country. That is the biofloc technology. Biofloc means what? Bioflocs is culture where the water scarcity is there. Because here in the biofloc culture, we are using same water until the culture period is completed. And the second thing is that they require very 20% less feed. All of you know that any project if you want to do, if you want to start, the economics, if you see, the 50% of their cost is you have to use for your feed purchase. But with the help of this biofloc, we can reduce because we are developing here the flock, that is the living flock. Marathi it is called a Jaivik Punja. We are developing here in the water body with the help of nutrients, and from that, at these heterotrophic bacteria are developed, and whatever the excreta, whatever the feed remnant in their water body, they are using that heterotrophic bacteria and they convert it into the protein, and that protein part they are eating by the fish again. So the water quality keeping the same at a long time, and that is the important trick, important thing in this culture of the biofloc culture. So only thing is that you should have a rectangular pond is there. If it is you have a tank, you can a circular tank. You can depth of the pond it should be 1.5 meter. If a percolate soil is there, plastic lining used. The water parameter is strictly it is followed. That is ammonia, nitrate, and nitrate. If you find the nitrate, ammonia is there, you have to change the water slightly. But sometimes if you have a properly using the carbon source, whatever used for the conversion of the particularly whatever the nitrogen is developing in the water body into the protein form, that will be definitely useful. And that carbon source is basically used as is in the form of rice bran. Rice bran is available. If you are using rice bran daily and particular quantity, that CN ratio, and you will get definitely that in that pond you have to use 25% of the protein phase feed. And this biofloc, if you requirement, you see the pond tank made up of tank concrete, polythene sheets covering that, uninterrupted electricity. The most important is the electricity. You have to give the continuous aeration. There should not be interruption in the electricity. Central drainage system. If sudden if thing is a problem, you have to remove the water's 10% or small quantity of water you have to from the pond, and again you have to add that. Otherwise, it is biosecurity. You have to seeds should be checked while putting in the, because we are not changing the water in the, so therefore the seed should be the very healthy and should be disease free. Acclimatization is also important. Fencing bed net should be you have to use on the pond or the tank to avoid the bird and animals. Avoid the public interference is also is important. Here the biofloc, how it is biofloc formed? Before the biofloc formation, you have to initially clean the water, your tanks, ponds with the bleaching powder, 20 to 30 ppm. Then fertilize with the 5 to 15 ml of dose. That is the particularly you used is superphosphates and GOC and all that. And you have to add the dose of 0.1 to 0.3% of the carbon source. Carbon source in the form of rice bran, and the dose should be 2.5 ppm daily basis. You have to give the daily, because there is a daily development of the ammonia or the nitrogen in the water body. To avoid that, the carbon source, what carbon source is? Carbon source, whatever you are adding in that, they are converted into protein, and therefore you are using that. Feed management, your 25% protein you should be given, feed you should be given, it is 2 to 3 times per day. Suggested protein source is added in the pond, you should not be added more than that. That is the important factor. Feeding rate may be altered in the situation of the daily acceptance and growth rate, because particularly in the winter season, fishes are not active for getting the feed. Their digestion processes are very slow. That time they have to reduce the quantity of the feeding rate. You have to observe that feed is accepted or not. If the feed is not accepted, and if you are not looking for this situation, there will be definitely there is a chances of pollution in the water body. So these things you should be taking. Water management, daily water quality should be maintained. Daily check the hardness, pH, and the ammonia. And on the basis that you have to see that. Then the sludge accumulation of the pond bottom is there. That is dangerous, because once it is a nitrite is formed in the water body, because there are kits are available to check the nitrite, pH, ammonia, and all that. If the nitrite is available, definitely it is very dangerous situation in the water body. So you have to change the water body. This is the important thing. These are some experiments were conducted in our farmer, that the rose seed. We are developing this rose seed. We got a 95% of the survival here, because some farmers require the seed of the. So we can conduct the 20 days experiments, 20 days rearing of this particular spawn. What our farmers doing, just seed in the form of spawn, they are just dumped into the water body. Instead of that, they can start their biofloc technology nearby their pond, or if they are using this separate pond for their biofloc, and if you rear the particular 20 days, 30 days, this particular seed, you get 95% of the survival, and this 95% of the seed you can stock indirectly in the pond, you will get good production. So even the route fry, after some fish, some farmers require the only directly fries, which is the 70 to 100 mm size. We can develop this in the biofloc after strong to fry in the tank, and after 90 days you will get this size particularly, and you will get a good survival, more than that 90%. Reduction of feed, even the biofloc we have used very less feed is required. no water quality is requirement because otherwise the fresh water regularly if you are using, there will be shortage of the water particularly in the summer season. So to avoid that, you can do it. I'm giving just this is the one one farmer in our Ratnagiri area. He has developed this technology in their particularly. You can see the water quality of the seeds. He constructed his ponds in their house. And he grow up to the 300 to 400 gram of fish in this tank and sell it to the local people. Also, they are waiting for the taking their. See, see this tilapia. Even the water quality, if you see their excitas and their feed remnants are still in their water body surface. You can see here, but the fish are very healthy, and because of this, this is now the technology is popular in our country. Definitely, most of the farmers are visiting now in the Ratnagiri or see this BioFog technology. So this is the good technology is help for. Because there is these technologies and all this whatever I am telling that they are come under this particularly Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, and they are getting the benefit of this. The only thing is that you have to give the proper their project report to the Department of Fisheries through the NFDP, and they are getting the funds. So another thing is very interesting, that is the aquaponic farming. Maybe that is in between the aquaculture and hydroponics. Hydroponics, where the vegetables are growing. Aquaculture, there the fish is growing. In between this, here we are developing both fish culture as well as the vegetables and all that. So with the help of this technology, we can, why? Because the water, whatever the unwanted water, which is, or we can say it is old water, if you use for your plantation, definitely you will find there is a fine growth. The growth is double in the vegetables. So such type of the experiments were conducted in our area also, and we, with the help of the agriculture scientists, we find there is a lot of development, lot of the scope for this. So aquaphonic, in that we can construct a small ponds which are having the 1.5 to 2 meters depth. We can add a one small pond, 20 kg of the fish, and tank water quality is 1000 liters. Only thing is that you have to use the one mechanical filter, biofilter, and pump. So whatever the water is there, you have to just through the mechanical filter, we have to remove the whatever the contents are there, hard materials are there. You have remove it. With the biofilter, you can reduce the any bacterial composition, and then this, with the help of that, you have to transfer this water to the different area, your plantation area. Or if the water is getting very good quality, so that reuse that water for your aquaculture, this particular this point. So like that, aquaponics nowadays very famous in particularly in this area. This is the mechanical filter, undissolved water, biofilter, dissolved ammonia using the above vegetable plots. So these systems, in that you can use the fish in the pond, tilapia, pangasius, culture, koi part, even the small spawn you can stock in the pond, and you can get when the vegetable like the spinach, lettuce, lettuce, tomato, fruit, vegetables like cucumbers, we can develop in your areas in the campus also. So like that, there are the different types of the also media based systems are there, nutrient system is there, deep water culture is there. This is a deep water culture. So with the help of small amenities, yeah, you can start your this technology, that is the aquaponic, in your nearby place. Then the recirculatory aquaculture system. Here, the very important recirculatory system, even the is nearby like this. Only thing is, it is a generally it is developed in the big areas where we can number of fish we can stock, means the quantity of the seed you can stock more in the tank. You can use the thousands to 50,000 liters of the tanks, and in that you can use this. So RS system, that is called as the RS system, that is a recirculatory aquaculture system. More and quality fish production can be achieved by minimum water, because we are using same water again in the system. So therefore you can get it good. This system is controlling any infected fish disease. Even technical, only thing is that you should know the technical knowledge, and technical skill persons is required to think all this system. Here the requirements is fish tanks, slush tanks, the mechanical filter, biology filter, aerators, UV filter. The system is like this. The fish tank is first. Fish tanks, you have to filter the water. See, fish tanks, through this water is settlement is there. Slush tanks you have to develop there. Slush tanks, there is a precipitation or the material is settled down, and this particularly material with water is filtered through the mechanical filter, removing the hard particles, then the biofilter, and then you have to again see the whatever the water is coming up, that water should be aerated with the aerations, with the aerators, so that there is a more dissolved oxygen which gather there, because water is very nice. And then before you are using in the again in the pattern, you have to go through the ultraviolet system, so that same water you can use in this system. You can use this system in your home, in your areas, or in your farm areas. In these systems you can develop with a easy maintaining. Only thing is that these parameters, whatever the parameters are shown here, that is oxygen and the pH, should be maintained in this recirculatory systems. Then the last, which is important, very, very important, we are developed in our Konkan area, that is integrated farming. Integrated farming is the fish farming integrated with goat farming, cashew nut plantations, vegetable plantations, and manure productions. Here we have developed one pond that is 20 to 20 meters squares, with using the water as well, or you can use from the river, and because rivers are not there, but the well water mostly our Konkan farmers are using. Fish is cultured here, tilapia, which is monosex. Biosecurity measures, they are fencing we are developed here around the ponds to avoid the crabs are there. So avoid the crabs entrance, or any animals coming towards the pond should be avoided. Seed is most important. You have to add the seed 1 gram. That is 800 numbers for 400. Means you have to use that 1 number per meter square, like the 2 numbers per meter square. And the feed is pellet form. It should be 1 mm, 2 mm, 4 mm, which is available in the market. That should be the 28% of the protein-based feed. Feeding rate should be the 3 to 6% of the total weight of the fish. That should be given in the twice in a day. This is the name of the farmer, that is Ustad near Ratnagiri. Here you can see here constructed like farm. His pond is this here. This is the pond. From that pond, whatever is getting here, he used the water to their different vegetable, fish, water, fruit matters. Here their farmhouse is own. They are using the same vegetable for them. Even the goat, they are using this vegetable. Also the elephant grass, they are developed for their goat persons. And after that, from the goat, they are getting some what you call as a waste material you can use for the developing the earthworm cultures. And this is continuously is running, and whatever the water is getting from that, afterward they are using for the cashew farm, as well as the earthworm culture they are using for the cashew farm. So they got a good results. So everywhere in the goat, cashew, they are everywhere within their campus, they are integrated this system in their area. This is the one of the example. This is a demonstration of our farmer in our Ratnagiri. This is the picture of the particularly, this is their farm. This is the farmer, this is the Ustad. These are the students and dignitaries are visiting here regularly. This is the vegetable plants. This is the elephant grass. He has developed the vegetable plants. This is the goat and the manures, whatever it is developed here in the within the farm. He has developed. So these systems can be adopted. Only thing is that because in the particularly in the Konkan area, whatever the water he want to change it because of the evaporation, there is a water is reducing here. So whatever water reducing, so the water quality is degraded. So that water they are using here and added the new water and is maintained the level of the water quality. So that within these systems, he got a good production from the goat as well as vegetable, as well as the agriculture crop like cashew nuts and all that. So these are the important technologies I am summarizing here. These are the fishes, whatever I showing here. These are the future. These are the freshwater prawn that is back of Rosenberg. There's a lot of nobody's looking for that. You people should come forward. You have to culture this. There is a lot of demand, not only in the Maharashtra, but in India as well as in the foreign countries. These are the freshwater fish. That is the Pangasius. These are the ornamental fish coming particularly in the Konkan areas. It's available plenty in the rivers and all that, but nobody's bothered. It is called as barb. It is generally, it is scientifically, it is called as Indian barb, but nobody knows it is available in our coast. The world people, they are giving the name is barb. The barb is nothing but the Indian. Basically, it is Indian. And these are the naturally available in our coast. You have to think on that, the culture of the species. Then the arowana, you know that arowana, one arowana is 50,000 rupees from in local peoples nowadays, just keeping in the hotels in tanks and rearing that fish to the maximum size, and then after that they sell it. Now this is the important, that is a freshwater crab. Nobody knows, you people knows like that it is important, but it is the very, very important because high protein, best feed, even the having the omega-3 fatty acids, more in this crab. Even some of the medicinal values are there for us. One of the students, my student did his PhD in the Gujarat. She worked on this particularly in the species that is particular species name is so this freshwater crab is available in our coast. Only the culture is, and culture is also very easy. One of my student MSc did the work on biology of this fish, particular crab, and there is a demandable species. Now in the Konkan people also it is demanded. Only thing is that you have to important is the seed. Seed is to be available. If the seed is available, particular seed is available in the rainy season when there is a monsoon. After that there is no seed is available. But whatever may be in the rainy season, whenever it is available, you have to collect it and culture it in the pond. It is very easy to culture this fish because they are even herbivorous oriented fish, and they have can be survived any type of the water quality, even if it is a water is not good condition. And there is a lot of scopes for it. One of the farmer nearby in our Konkan areas, the Sangli area, the Ware has started with the 2 or 3 farmers nearby their village. They have started the crab farming in their ponds particularly. So like that, these fish are a lot of scopes, and we have to think about that. The Chinese peoples are always this says, give a man a fish, he will eat only once. Teach him culture, he will eat throughout his life. So by this, some very fast and very quickly, because I have to attend another webinar. So given a chance to me to discuss, communicate this some important technologies to the particularly the youth peoples, so they can definitely come forward. I'm available for the 24 hours. They can get their this knowledge and start their own business. And there is a lot of scope for you for your business. Thank you. Thank you very much. So anybody want to ask questions, they can ask the questions.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful and mesmerizing speech. Now the forum is open for the interaction and the question answer. If anybody have any questions, please ask.
I'm sir happy to see the girl students. Definitely in our Ratnagiri in the College of Fisheries. Now our most of the more than 50% students are girl students, and they are performing very nice in their particularly in the fisheries department. Now they are in joined in the fishery departments, and they're going performing very well work. I'm very happy to see here also. So anybody want to ask question? Definitely ask questions.
Anybody having any short of few minutes? Please ask a question. Thank you, Naik sir. Thank you so much for a wonderful and mesmerizing speech. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Can I leave this, sir?
Yes, sir.
I have to join to other webinars. Okay. Thank you, boys.
Thank you, sir. Now we will move toward our second session. Now, voice. Now I request the next academic expert, Dr. Arun B. Savarkar, sir, professor from Department of Zoology, for his presentation and guide us on the topic apiculture, a conservational approach. But before start his presentation, I request Dr. P.J. Khinchi, sir, Head Department of Zoology, to introduce the resource person to the participants. Thank you very much, Dr. Vishal, sir.
Speaker of second session is Dr. Arun B. Savarkar, sir. Welcome, sir. He is Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, BP Arts, SMS Science, and KKC Commerce College, Chalisgaon, District Jalgaon. Affiliated to Kaviyatri Bahinabai Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. He has 12 years of teaching and research experience. He was assistant coordinator of IQAC. Sir has published 22 research papers in national and international journals and 2 books in his credit. He has organized 3 national conferences, 4 workshops, and 2 soft skill workshops. He is recognized guide under Working University and RTM Nagpur University, Nagpur as well. Sir has 1 minor research project funded by UGC. So I would like to invite Dr. Arun Savarkar to deliver a talk on apiculture, a conservational approach. Savarkar, sir, please.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Khinchi, sir. Nice introduction. And
thank you so much, sir.
I'm very much congratulate to the management that Janta Mahavidyalaya Chandrapur, then the principal, that Honorable Subhash sir, then the Department of the Zoology head, especially Khinchi sir, then the Gaidhani sir, and Dr. Sachin sir also. I also congratulate to the IQAC coordinator, Dr. Beg ma'am also, and overall, thanks once again that invite me to interact to the students as well as the staff members. And even though the bee lovers which are associated or connected to that of this, that virtual seminar which is conducted by this department. Shall I share that screen now? Please, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Now the today's topic is the apiculture conservational approach. We know about that apiculture, it means that the rearing of the bees. Honeybees, whose scientific name is the apis, and their rearing, basically known as the apiculture. When we think broadly, as per the economy of that honeybees, then we put the another word, that is a beekeeping. And it is necessary the conservation of that honeybees due to the some of the problems which are associated to that of the apiculture or the honeybees. Step by step, just be focused here. We know about that the apiculture is totally rely on the agriculture field here. In India, around 70% that field which is agro-based, and that honeybees which totally depends on the pollen grains as well as the nectar when they visitate to the thousands of the flowers here. And that process, when the pollen grains which transfer from one flower to the another flower, that process is known as the pollination. The number of the media, factor or the agents which are very important, and that factors basically known as the pollinating agents here. That two terms which are very important. One is the abiotic and second is the biotic factor. Abiotic, through which the pollen grains which are transferred, that is wind as well as the water here. While related to the biotic that agents, around 80% of that pollination which is created by these biotic agents here. And in that table, the number of the biotic agents which are observed here, that some of the invertebrates and many are the, some of the that invertebrates as well as the vertebrates here. More than 90 to 95% of the invertebrates which pollinate to that of the agriculture crops, even to the forest area here. And if you listed here, the first position that the honeybees or related other bees, whose carries about or whose contribution is around 73% here. It means that how that honeybees are important and it is necessary to conserve that number of the bees here. After that, just little focus toward the history of that honeybees or the apiculture industry here. These are the two pictures which is observed here. These are the paintings which are observed in the caves here. At the left side, you can observe that 15,000-year-old painting which is observed in the Spain, that Valencia. Here you can observe that ladies which collect that honey from that nest here. While another picture you can locate that in the Egypt, the thousands years ago, there is a what we say that apiculture industry which is available, and that collection of the honey which is used for their regular diet also. It means that just 15,000 years ago, at that time, the honeybees or their apiculture, that industry which is available, and they can use that apiary products for the medicinal purposes as well as their regular diet also. In India also, which has the especially the Vedas, Ayurveda, as well as very popular epics, that is the Mahabharata, Ramayana, even though the Buddhist scriptures also, where some of the information associated with the apiculture which is observed here. And when we focus the worldwide distribution of that apiculture, in the year 1935 to 1914, where the started the rearing of the bees in India here, and who's carried about today's ratio 12,247 into or multiplied by 1,000 that boxes are present recently. And overall the globe, when we focus that the India, which is a topmost position as the number of the beehives which are present in that country here. Second number is the China, who carries about 9,088 multiplied by 1,000 that bee boxes here. That another situation what this is that here. What about the major honey producer, that recent report which is carried by the FAO report 2019, that is a Food and Agriculture Organization of the United States, FAO stat. And the leading country is the China, who carries about the 4,44,103 metric ton honey production every year here. What about the India? India whose position, that is a 8th position. Number of the boxes which are higher, but a production whose number is the 8th position. Look at that. As per the productivity, 28% of that contribution carried by the China globally here. What about the India, who carries only the 3.5% that contribution globally here? Why the conservation? That is a very important point here. The next one, when we conservation point of view theme related to the apiculture, we must know the honeybees, how many species are present, which species are rare in this apiculture industry here. The two different bees which are used, basically we say that the domestic bees and another two are the wild bees here. First, moves toward the wild bees, basically known as the Apis dorsata, that is a rock bees. This is the images which is observed is of that bee as well as one side to that of this hive here, which is the largest honeybee and produce around 27 to 40 kg honey per comb per year. That honey which has the high market value, but it is unable to survive or domesticate in the boxes here due to their ferocious nature and stings severely, causing the fear. The next bee, basically known as per the shape and the size, that is a little bee, whose name is the Apis florea. That Apis florea, which is observed in the bushes, where the shady or the dark places here, members or the worker bees, which is observed in a colony around 800 to 3,000 individuals and provide around 300 to 800 gram honey per hive per year here. It is a popular related to the honey and especially due to its medicinal values in the medicinal sectors here. After that, the next bee is the Apis cerana indica, commonly known as the Indian bee. बरेचदा आपल्या मराठी भाषेमध्ये तिला सातेरी, सातपुडा असं सुद्धा म्हटलं जातं, due to the parallel combs which are present in a hive here. It is a medium-sized bee and consists of 7 to 8 parallel combs which are present in the dark places, in the bushes, or in the shady places also. Here, the members which are observed around 2,000 to 15,000 individuals are present here and produce around 6 to 8 kg honey per colony per year, which is very popular related to the pollination here and many agriculture sector that boxes which are put here. And last bee, whose name is the Apis mellifera, that is the European bee, many times, which also known as the Italian bee, which is not a native of the India here, but launched in the year 1945 in the that Punjab, Haryana, and the Himachal Pradesh, and now which is very popular from north to the south and east to the west of the India here. That is a medium size honeybee, slightly larger to that of this Apis cerana indica or the Sateri bee. It consists of the 7 to 10 parallel combs which are observed and in the dark places here. The members or the individuals which are present in the colony or the worker bees, around 30,000 to 1 lakh individuals are present here. Whose pollination rate which is very high and easily domesticated, which is not a ferocious and easily they can domesticate it and very popular to the agriculture sectors here. What about the honey production? As compared to the other bees, around the 25 to 60 kg that honey produced every year from a colony here. One of the record around the 181 kg that honey which produced from a colony a year, and hence which is very popular in that the field here. Another bee also present which is a non-Apis bee. Around 17 that different species which is observed in that stingless bees, which also known as the dammer bee, and that two species, one is the Melipona and another one that is a Trigona, that are two main species which commonly known as a dammer bees. There is another different subspecies also observed to that of this Melipona and the Trigona, which is very popular in the south region, especially Tamil Nadu and the Kerala. They construct a irregular comb, especially in the frames of the windows or the old walls also, and along with that the wax and the resinous the substances they form the combs here. Individuals say that 100 to 1,500 individuals are present and produce a very little amount of the honey, around 300 to 1,200 grams here. That honey taste which is somewhat the bitter but which has the high medicinal value and which is the excellent pollinator in that field here. Now, the next question is that once again, why the conservation here? After the basic idea to that of these different species of the honeybees, we must know the exact that colony structure or the hive structure here. In case of the colony structure, that is an inverted that comb which is the inverted that comb which is present. The anterior portion it moves toward the ground here, and their foundation which is just about here or the opposite to that of this that comb here. It hangs vertically and two different layers are present here. The topmost condition where the comb foundation is present and that complete that hive which is differentiated into the three different regions here. That just below to that of the foundation, the honey region is present where they store the honey here. Just after that, the next region is present, that name is the pollen region, where they collect the pollen and store in that region here. That is a pollen region. Next one, that is the largest portion of that hive is known as the brood region. What means the brood here? Brood means that all the developmental stages are present in that region. All the developmental stages, it means that the eggs, larva, pupa, and as well as the adult, that is the worker bees, then the drone bees, as well as the queen bees, whose cells are also present in that brood regions here, which is the largest brood region. After that, just at the lower side, the drone cells somewhat the larger in that cells which are somewhat the larger as compared to the worker cells here, and just below to that of this, the elongated that largest cells are present. That name is the queen cell here. This is the basic structure of the hive where the honey is present, pollen region is present, and the brood region is present. That is a very important. जे ट्रायबल लोक जे कलेक्शन करून आणतात हनी, अक्षरशः that एक जो पूर्ण पोळं जे असेल हाईव जे असेल त्याला स्क्वीज केलं जातं, पेलं जातं. त्यांना एवढी कल्पना नसते की त्यामध्ये हनी कुठे असते. अक्षरशः एका पोळ्यामध्ये जवळपास 30,000च्या आसपास मेंबर्स असतात. दॅट इज अ पॉप्युलेशन ऑफ द वन विलेज अराउंड दॅट हियर. म्हणजे एक प्रकारे स्क्वीज केलं जातं आणि त्याला पूर्णपणे मारलं जातं, हे जास्त महत्वाचं आहे. ज्यासाठी बेसिक इन्फॉर्मेशन की ऍक्च्युअल हनी कुठे असते हे जाणून घेणं फार गरजेचं आहे. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज दॅट दिस इज our life cycle related to the honeybees here. The 4 different stages already discussed in the form of the elongated cylindrical that egg which is laid by the queen in each in a single that cell here. Larvae which is embedded in the royal jelly. Next stage that is the pupa And three added stages are the caste, because they are the social animals, and the polymorphism which is observed here. That is adults, the largest bee, that is the queen bee, which remains as a single. Middle, that is smallest bee, that is a worker bee, that highest number which is observed in that colony and perform the different duties, indoor duties, that is a cleaning, feeding, everything, as well as outdoor duties in the form of the collection of the nectar, collection of the pollen grains, collection of the water also. And last, that image related somewhat that is a drone here, which is the male and has the main purpose, that is the mating purposes here. Just below together these two images, different patterns of the worker cells, drone cells, and the queen cells, which is observed. How we can diagnose, how we can identify. No doubt this is the color, that worker cell. The outer capping, which is a flat, and these all are the worker cells. If somewhat the drone cells, which is observed their outer capping, which is a dome shape here. And you know about the queen cell, which are somewhat different and elongated, that cappings which are present here. After that, moves toward the another part, that is the apiary products here. Our question, which is continued, why it is a conservation due to these apiary products, which are also the important here. Honey, we know about that, a collective material in the form of the nectar from when visiting to the different flowers here. The composition is of the honey, no doubt glucose, fructose, and sucrose, that is a carbohydrates, which is the main part, around 70 to 80%, that part is the main composition of that honey here. No doubt honey, which is acidic in nature, whose a pH around 3.7 to 4.5, and many uses which are applicable in all the sectors, in the cosmetics, in the medical sector, in the Ayurveda, basically Unani, as well as pharmaceutical, that all the sectors where that honey which is important, and these are the somewhat the products which are observed are available in the market here. After that, when we think about the honey, these are certain images which is observed. The first, that number, that Central African Republic, this image which is associated with the honey consumption per day per capita. Capita means the head. त्या देशामधले लोक रोज किती मध खात असतात हे महत्वाचा रोल इथे प्ले करते. The first number is of the Central African that Republic, who that per head around 9.62 gram of the honey which is consumed per day. Overall वर्षाचा जर विचार केला तर 3.5 to 1.2 kg per year per head, 3.5 किलो एक व्यक्ती त्या देशातलं जे हनी जे फूड म्हणून तो कंझ्युम करत असते. What about in case of the India, whose number around the 94th number, or whose position is on the 94th position globally, and per head who consume, that people related to the India who consume around 1.4 milligram or 0.14 gram, that per person per year, sorry, per day we see that. And याचं जर calculation जर केलं तर around 365 days, the 51 gram per year per head that consumed by the people associated to the India here. That is a very difference to that of this, the honey consumption to that of the our Indian people, as well as compared to the other that countries also. Next point is that this is the scenario which is observed here. When we consume or 100 gram of honey, how many that energy which is observed here in the form of the calories here. 100 gram the honey, where 304 that calories which is observed here. Another side, the daily usage of that fruits, vegetables, even though the milk and the eggs, where the when we use the 100 gram, how many calories which are present here. एका बाजूला जर आपण फ्रुट्सचा विचार केला तर प्रत्येक 100 ग्रॅम मध्ये आपल्याला एवढी एनर्जी, एवढी कॅलरी आपल्याला मिळते. You can correlate that both things here. As per the cost, 100 gram of the honey, whose cost is around 65 to 70 rupees here. What about the apple, orange, banana, mango, papaya, and the pineapples here? You can compare both such things here. how the honey, which is important in the form of the food also. Next point is that the beeswax here. We know about that the beeswax, that is one of the real product of the apiary or the honeybees, we say that here. This is the image which is observed, that is the abdominal, that ventral plates are observed here. Just at the ventral side, the 4 glands of that beeswax are present here, located on the 4th, 5th, 6th, and the 7th abdominal segments here, which are always remains in the paired and laterally arranged here. When they secrete their secretion outside the body and contact with the air, the small flakes which are comes out here. With the help of the mandibles as a part of that mouth part, they collect here, mold and modify and utilize for the construction of the combs here. What is the importance of the beeswax? Moves toward the composition here, where the esters and the hydrocarbons, along with that the free fatty acids, alcohols, and other related components also present here. More major component is the ester. What is the importance of that beeswax? Every sector that beeswax which is important here. Maybe the cosmetics, in case of the pharmaceutical industry, medical sectors, manufacturers of the candles, production of the polishes, all the type of the polishes, ink, carbon papers, electric insulations, waterproof canvas, crayon colors, every sector that beeswax which is important here. As compared to that of this honey, that beeswax also has the that high market value here. After that, the next one, that is a royal jelly, which also the real product of the apiary industry or the honeybees here. After that, two that main real products in the form of the beeswax and the royal jelly, which are the real products, while remaining products which are collected from basically we see that flowers here or the plants here. Now, this is the cells which are present where that C-shape apodous larvae which is present and which is embedded in the royal jelly, which is cream in color. That royal jelly which is highly nutritious in nature and which contains the different type of the proteins, sugar molecules, fats, vitamins, and very small amount of the salts as well as the amino acid. What are the importance of that royal jellies here? Which is important for the regular growth and the development also, which is motivate or boost the immune system, and which is utilized against the various diseases like the asthma, liver diseases, kidney diseases, even to the bone fractures, baldness, skin disorders, and the high cholesterol. It means that which also has the high demand in the pharmaceutical and the medical sectors also. After that, moves toward the next, that is the bee venom. Bee venom, which is used or utilized for the safety, we say that here. When any intruder comes in the colony, they easily remove by using that bee venom here. That so many compositions, around 210 compositions or components which are present in the bee venom here, of which one of the main important is the peptide, that is a melittin and the apamine. Some of the enzymes that name is the hyaluronidase and the phospholipase, which are very important and which are important to cause the pain and destroy the tissues of that victim here. What is the importance of the bee venom? You know about the bee therapy, which also used in the pharmaceutical and the medical sectors here, which are available in the form of the injections, ointment, inhalation of the venom vapors also. Here, certain eye diseases or the inflammation, that is especially the muscle and the joints pain, rheumatitis, arthritis, neurosis, these all are the different type of the diseases they can cure with the help of that bee venom. And these are the products which are available in the market also. That next step, that is the bee pollen, that is another apiary product here. So many components or the ingredients which are present in the form of that sugars, amino acids, especially the free amino acids, proteins, then the carbohydrates, vitamins A, B, C, D, and the E, different minerals as well as the lipids also available or the present in the bee pollen here. and uses which acts as the energizers, which use as appetizers, भूक वाढवणे असं आपण म्हणतोय, which acts as a stimulator also, especially related to the male, which use as so many problems which are associated to the prostate gland, they can cure with the help of the pollen grains also. Lower the BP also, that suffering from that heart problems, they can lower the heart problems there. They also use in the cosmetic preparations. These are some of the that components which are observed in the market also. And the last part of the apparel products, that is a propolis. Propolis, which is collected from the resinous plants or resinous substances which is collected from the resinous plants here. That resin is the main ingredient, carried around 50 to 70%. Along with that, oil and wax 30 to 50%, and some of the other ingredients in the form of the pollen, vitamins, different type of the flavonoids, then the phenols as well as the aromatic compounds are present here. That propolis which is used for the home constructions here. But what about their importance in the humankind here? That propolis which is used in the medical and the dental sciences also, which is very effective for the healing wounds and the removing the corns also, which use as the ointment related to the skin problems also, embedding already killed insects to prevent the putrefactions also, as well as which use as a dietary supplements. And these are the Colgate, you know about that, which also the main ingredient, that is a propolis also here. After that, the next one, after the apiary productions or apiary products, moves toward the pollination also. So many that agriculture, that crops which are pollinated by the honeybees here, and this is the scenario which is observed in the form of the production in the percentage starting from the onion up to the almond here. They visit to the number of the flowers or number of the crops, that is the vegetable crops, that oil seed crops, pulse crops, fruit, forage, as well as the plantation crops here. And that increase the production, especially when we move toward the citrus, around 750% productivity, which is increases by the honeybees here. In case of the strawberries, around the 108 different type of the insect which are visited to the strawberries here, and of which the main role for the pollination which is take part by the honeybees around the 80% here, and increase the production, that is around the 39% here. It means that how that honeybees which are important for our daily life or the humankind also. This is the why conservation, that point also the continued here. So many reasons due to which the honeybee population which is declined globally here. In case of the US, around the 14% that population which is declined. UK, around 35% that population which is declined. In case of the India, 40% of that honeybees have been disappeared during the last 25 years. What is the reason behind that here? So many problems which are created or faced by the honeybees. These are the problems here. Use of the pesticides, especially the insecticides, which is immensely used in the agriculture fields here. And due to which that impact or affect that pesticide or the insecticide to that of the honeybees, and due to which the population which is declined here. Urbanization and industrialization, which also the main reasons, and which are connected to the deforestation here. Remove that forest here and prepare or establish the industries as well as the urban area that building purposes utilize here. Next one, that monoculture, पारंपरिक शेती. ह्या वर्षी एक पीक घेतलं की तेच पीक कंटिन्युअस घेणे, सगळेजण बोर होऊन जातील, एकच एक जेवण रोज जेवलं तर. That also create the problems also. Lack of awareness. शेतकऱ्यांपर्यंत, beekeepers पर्यंत त्याची पूर्णपणे माहितीच पोहोचत नाही. How to rear that bees? What type of the beekeeping management which is utilized for this daily purposes? That is very big problems here. Infestation by the diseases and the predators. Also that also the another point here also. And the last one, so many towers which are available everywhere, that mobile towers, even though the Wi-Fi routers here, and due to which what happens, that radiation that generated from that towers, which also affect and decline the population of that honeybees here. As the population which is declined, it means that the honeybee products also declined here. After that, the next point, what is the main role which is played by the government of the India? So first of all, we know about that Khadian village, that KVIC, we say that which is established in the year that 1956 year, and which provide the somewhat the information, scientific information to the beekeepers as well as the farmers also. In addition to that, the KVIC also established the Central Bee Research and Training Institute at the Pune in the year 1962 here, to give the proper information to the beekeepers as well as the farmers how to rear that bees and what type of the production which is carried by the bees here, or even though what is the importance of that bees in the apiculture, in the agriculture industry also. In addition to that, ICAR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and provide the funds to that of this KVIC here, and has the main important that beekeeping to provide, or they provide the funding to that of this beekeeping projects here to raise the industrial status of the apiculture in the India. After that, the government of the India, they prepare the board, that is National Bee Board here in the year 2000 here, 19th July here. They prepare the framework and form the body, that is a reconstitution of the National Bee Board in the year 2006, 13th June here. What is the main motto of that National Bee Board is the improve the crop productivity as well as the honey productions through the scientific beekeeping, provide the funds, generate the funds to the out of the beekeepers as well as the farmers here. After that, the next part, in the year 2020, the national that beekeeping and the honey mission which is prepared and give a good title that the sweet revolutions here, and has the main aim to accelerate the production of the quality honey and related products also, which also used extensively in different sectors like the pharma, medical sector, food, beverages, beauty, as well as the other that components which are take part in the different industries also. What is the main purpose of the sweet revolutions here? Providing the employment, especially to the youth, even though the women empowerment also, to increase the agriculture and the horticulture in, as well as increase the income of the farmers as well as the beekeepers also, to make the state the leading state, especially in the field of the honey productions here. Children free from the malnutrition and production of the quality honey, due to which we can take part, and just step by step we move as a number one related to the honey production in the global sectors here. We know about that last but the least here. These are the different sectors, different that institutes where the training programs which are available here. Beekeeping center located in the Mahabaleshwar, Pune, you know about the KVIC and different branches in the that district levels also available. Maganwadi Apiary related to the Wardha, government apiary, Jelukhet, Nainital, Coimbatore, where the agriculture college, which is very important, and different programs which are available in the form of a diploma, short-term courses, certificate courses, or 5 to that 6 month that courses which are available here. How to rear and what type and how to produce that or introduce that productivity in the market value also. Last but least here, this is the 1/3 of our diet, which is carried only and only by the honeybees here. Look at that in a dish, the how many products are that products which are available here. Albert Einstein, who says that if the bee disappeared off the globe, then man would only have 4 years of the life left here, because the honeybees which totally rely on the agriculture field. If no more bees, no more pollination, no more plants, no more animals, because there is a chain of food chain, we say that here, and when there is a no any bees, pollination which is absent, no more plants, no more animals, what about that human beings? no more man here. And hence, just after the death or disappearing of the honeybees, the man can live only 4 years of the life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your excellent presentation and enlightening guidance. Now I declare that the forum is open for the interaction and the question answer session. If anyone have the question, please ask.
Yes, any questions? Please ask.
Sir. हाँ, चलो.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, my question is, can you please explain the economic importance of Apis cerana indica? I wanted to culture this. So can you
Yes.
give me some more details related to this species?
Yes, no doubt. We know about that in India, that 4 different species nowadays which are very popular, and among that 2 species which are rare enormously in the overall the India here. One is the Apis mellifera, which is observed nowadays overall that states of the India, and second one that Apis cerana indica. Just I want to give the address that near the Varora, that a farmer who reared that species Apis cerana indica. Second one that in the Bhandara district, just I forgot that names. If you know about that, Dr. Sachin Nisar sir, that sir also reared that honeybees in that sector here. You can contact with that of this that persons, and you can rear such type of the bees also.
Sir,
Second point is that
Paliwal sir in Wardha also.
सर नाही, आता त्यांनी बंद केलंय कारण की त्यांचं काम ऍपिस डॉर्सेटावर होतं.
ओके.
त्याच्यानंतर त्यांनी ऍपिस सेराना इंडिका फक्त एकच बॉक्स ते ठेवायचे की स्टुडंट्स तिथे व्हिजिट करायचे म्हणून. आणि त्याच्यानंतर त्यांचं आता पूर्णपणे वळले ते ऍपिस फ्लोरियाकडे.
आणि गडचिरोली जिल्ह्यामध्ये सुद्धा 1% देवाजी तोफा आल्सो कलेक्टिव्ह. हा,
ओके
द पर्सन.
तर ह्या स्पीसीज बद्दल बोलायचं झालं तर थोडीशी फेरोसियस आहे, कारण की ऍब्स्कॉन्डिंग हा शब्द तुम्ही तुमच्या ऍपिकल्चर वर्ल्ड मध्ये ऐकला असेल. ऍब्स्कॉन्डिंग याचा अर्थ की एनी प्रॉब्लेम्स विच आर क्रिएटेड टू दॅट ऑफ द बीज, मे बी इंटरफेरन्स ऑफ द मॅन बी कीपर, किंवा आसपास जर फूड अवेलेबल नसेल तर लगेच ती निघून जाते. आणि तो तिचा फार मोठा ड्रॉबॅक आहे की जास्त वेळ ती सस्टेन राहू शकत नाही. त्याच्यामुळे कन्झर्वेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्ह्यू विचार केला किंवा रेअरिंग पॉइंटचा जर विचार केला तर ती जास्त काळ राहू शकत नाही. पण आपण चांगल्या पद्धतीने तिला जर हाताळण्याचा प्रयत्न केला तर दॅट इज अ वेल अँड गुड हिअर टू रेअर सच टाइप ऑफ द बीज. आणि प्रत्येक माझी तर रिक्वेस्ट आहे की प्रत्येक कॉलेजने एक तरी हनीबीची बॉक्स, मे बी मेलिफेरा, ते जास्त सस्टेन राहू शकते. ऍब्स्कॉन्ड होण्याचे चान्सेस कमी असतात, परंतु तुमचं ठेवणं तिथे फार महत्वाचं आहे की जेणेकरून पॉलिनेशन तर आहेच आहे, परंतु त्यासोबत जे पोल्युशन जे म्हणतोय, पोल्युशन फ्री एरियामध्ये अशा बीज राहण्याचं चान्सेस जास्त असतात. येस, एनी क्वेश्चन?
ओके सर, थँक्यू.
Hello, Savarkar sir.
Yes sir.
Myself Dr. Subhash. Sir, since how many years you are working there?
Yes, I am working there.
Yeah, in Chalisgaon. How many years
sir.
you are?
Yes,
huh?
yes sir.
Yeah, in how many years you are working?
I am from 12 years sir.
10 years, okay.
12 years. Basically, I am from Brahmapuri district, Chandrapur.
Okay.
Okay, my graduation there, and after that MSc and PhD from Nagpur University.
Okay.
And from last 12 years, I was here.
My one of my cousin brother, he worked there.
What's
in
the name,
Chalisgaon
sir?
College.
Name, sir, please.
Dr. Kalyan Chakravarti.
Okay, sir. Okay.
May you know that the name?
No, sir. No, I don't know about that. But
he was He was, I think, 92. Okay.
Sir, my joining is 2009, sir.
Okay, right. Before that, he was working as a contributory lecturer there.
But you
And
are very popular, sir. Sir, you are very popular in that area also.
Yeah. I did.
Because you are the one of the member of the SSVPS College, Dhulia.
No, not member. I'm the faculty
Yes, I
member
know.
there.
Yes,
Faculty
yes,
member.
sir.
Yeah.
I know, sir. I know, sir.
Right. Thank you.
Frequently, I have visited there for the practical examinations.
Okay. Right. Now Fund is the head of the department there.
Yes, sir. Fund, sir.
Dr. DL Fund. Yeah.
Yes. Now, where they also going to be retired now.
Okay. Next. Yes, coming. Okay.
Yes, coming.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir,
Thank
for invitation and interact with all the students here. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Kinchi, sir, and Sachin, sir, also.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your mesmerizing presentation.
Thank you, sir.
I thank all of you for your enthusiastic presentation and for the lovely interaction. To conclude this session, I request Dr. D.M. Gaidane, sir, to propose the vote of thanks.
आज वीडियो करा
Oh, Tantu. Okay. Am I audible? Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. Myself, Dr. D.M. Gaidane, for vote of thanks here. No. E-seminar on science and technology in the subject zoology has organized by our college to gain the knowledge of the subject and to benefit of this knowledge to the society. On this special occasion, it's my duty to give a vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to give my thanks to our chief patron, Dr. Mrs. Pratibhatai Ashok Jutode, Madam, President Chanda Shikshan Prasarak Mandal Chandrapur, and Secretary Dr. Ashok Jutode sir, for give an opportunity to organize this e-seminar. I'm thankful to patron, Vice Chancellor of Gondwana University, Gadchiroli, Professor Prashant Bokhare sir, Pro-Vice Chancellor Dr. Ram Kavade sir, our Registrar Dr. Anil Chitade sir, Dean of Science and Technology Dr. Suresh Revatkar sir. Thanks to the Chairman of Board of Studies in Zoology, Dr. N.V. Harne, for give an excellent speech. I am giving thanks to conveners of the seminar, Dr. M. Subhash, Principal Sir of our college, and Dr. N.R. Beg, Madam, IQAC Coordinator. Today's e-seminar's first resource person, Professor S.D. Naik, Ratnagiri, has given a good lecture on recent advanced technologies in aquaculture. Thank you, sir. Second resource person was Dr. Arun Savarkar, sir. He has also given a nice presentation on apiculture, a conventional approach. I am thankful. I extend thanks to Dr. P.J. Kinchi, colleague Dr. S.D. Mishra, faculty members, non-teaching staff, and dear participants. Without your support, this program would not be successful. Thanks to all of you. With this vote of thanks is over and end of today's e-seminar by the permission of conveners. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I leave now?
Thank you, sir. We will provide the feedback link tomorrow in Telegram group.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
काय प्रॉब्लेम काय होता
माझं दिसत नव्हतं, बाकी सगळ्यांना दिसत होतं का मी? मी काहीच नाही केलं होतं. मी दिसत होतं का तिकडे मित्रांना? तेच तुम्हाला
ऑन केला तरी